Hey, welcome to YouTube. Oh my goodness, I'm really excited. We're doing lesson 3 on our series of the series. So we talked about Jesus being unrecognized. We talked about Mary Magdalene being unlikely. And today we're going to look at the word unexpected. Unexpected. What do you mean by that? Well, in Luke 24, from verses 13 to 34, we read a story scenario where these disciples, a couple of them are walking along the road and they're leaving Jerusalem. There's this dude that joins them, keeps walking with them, starts walking with them. And they're talking on the journey and they're talking about all the stuff that just happened in Jerusalem. And the guy who's joined them, the stranger, asks, "What are you guys talking about?" And they stop and they look at this stranger dude and they're like, "Are you the only one that hasn't heard anything of what's been going on in Jerusalem? Are you nuts? What planet did you just fall off of?" And so they say, and he starts to talk with them, and then the stranger guy starts to explain about Moses and the law and the prophets and all this stuff. And they were going to continue their journey. The two disciples had arrived at their destination. Jesus was going to keep walking on. They didn't know it was Jesus. I kind of let the cat out of the bag there. But they invited him. They didn't know he was Jesus. They're like, "Oh, no, come and stay with us. It's already kind of late in the evening. We'd love to have you eat dinner with us and, stay, and then you can go on your journey in the morning." So the stranger, we know now is Jesus, decides to stay with him. And it says that as he broke bread, their eyes were opened. Prior to that, it says that his identity was hidden from them. And I bring up the story, the unexpected, because I think a lot of times Jesus is walking with us, but we don't recognize, we don't see him, we don't understand, we don't appreciate, we're not aware of his presence. We might have this kind of twitter or flutter in our heart, or this kind of fleeting thought runs through our mind. We're like, hey, but I believe that sometimes the Holy Spirit does that and really helps us to kind of keep walking, but also tunes in our awareness. Hey, I'm right here with you. I'm walking on this journey with you. I didn't leave you. I didn't forsake you. I didn't abandon you. And just because you don't sense and feel and recognize and see me as Jesus before, or as the presence of God before, like you did in the past, doesn't mean that God's not with you. In fact, the truth of it is, and Jesus tells us this, the Holy Spirit, whom Jesus sent, whom the Father sent after Jesus rose from the dead, the Holy Spirit is with us all the time. So God's presence is with us all the time. And it's not an issue of whether we feel God's presence or not, whether we hear God's voice or not, whether we see God doing things or not. God is always with us. The Holy Spirit's always with us. So I always pray this way. And whether I'm walking on a journey and I'm disappointed, Jesus died and now everybody said he's risen from the dead, and this kind of totally weird and hokey, what the heck is going on here? Whether I'm that disciple walking along, I can't figure out what's going on. I have a lot of questions and a lot of perplexities and uncertainties in my life, and I just don't get it. But the key thing here is asking the Holy Spirit, help me, Holy Spirit, to recognize your presence. Number one, or number two, increase my awareness, increase my sensitivity. Help me. And I pray this way. I pray, like if you think about back in the old days, we used to have like radios, and you used to like tune them into stations, and if you were in between stations, you heard a lot of white noise, static. But as you got closer to the station, the signal became more clear. And that's what I ask the Holy Spirit to do in my heart, to calibrate me, to tune me in to your presence, to your frequency, so I can recognize, I can sense you, I can hear you, I can see you, I can feel you. And I know you're always with me, but make me more aware of you. And so I would say that for you and me today, that would be our prayer, that even in the unexpected places, walking along the road, or going to work, or being in school or class, or driving, or taking a walk, or exercising, getting grocery stores, waiting in the carpool line, whatever, pick something, that we would have our expectation, awareness of Jesus, increase our sensitivity, so that we recognize and see, here's Jesus right here. Here's Jesus in this situation. Here's Jesus in the car with me. Here's Jesus' presence. Just recognizing Jesus' presence throughout our daily living. So thank you again for watching. And let's make sure Jesus isn't unlikely, isn't unrecognized, or isn't unexpected. Let's keep our awareness, our attention, our affections, and our expectation eagerly watching and waiting and and dialed in to Jesus in our lives, in our daily living. Thanks again for watching. Love to get your input, feedback, thumbs up, thumbs down. Of course, I would love to have you subscribe. That'd be awesome. You know, we're over 250 subscriptions, which is phenomenal. Like, I'm just giddy and happy as a clam that we have that many people. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Sure, I'd love to have you pass this on to your friends, post it on Facebook. It's all super excellent, super helpful. We try to keep these tight, concise, short, meaningful, and helpful to you. So thanks again for watching. Give me some feedback. And of course, here's our joke. This one's not quite a joke. It's a little bit of a word puzzle, and it's pretty simple. So what stays in the corner but travels around the world? Any ideas? A stamp, right? A stamp. Stays in the corner, travels. A stamp, like a postage stamp. All right, I know. Not necessarily a joke, but a little bit entertaining nonetheless. Thanks again for watching. Catch you next week.